So, good afternoon. Good afternoon, class. Good afternoon, everyone. And we're going to start in a few minutes kasi may ginagawa lang ang ating mga reporters. Okay? Kinakabahan daw sila. Ayan, so we're going to start exactly 2 p.m. So while waiting for our reporters to be ready, I will be sending the link of your attendance here on the chat box of our line para po meron kayo ginagawa habang hinihintay natin ang ating mga naggaganda. Kasi isa lang yung lalaki sa kanila. One moment please. Ay, masyado malakas yun. Okay, sige lang po. Sorry. Hinaan natin. Ayan. 45. Ayan. Okay na. Mas naririnig nyo na ako. Ayan. Good afternoon again. Ayan. So, habang busy ang ating mga reporters to prepare for their report, no? Send ko muna sa inyo yung link ng inyong attendance. Okay. Ayan. Nakapin po sa taas yung attendance. Make sure na after filling out the attendance sheet, take a screenshot of the accomplished form, okay, and then let me know in the chat box if you are done, and also take a screenshot para po may proof kayo na ng attendance ninyo before we start the discussion. Okay? So, reporters, are we ready na? Okay, sige. Wait lang. Hindi na. Kalmahan nyo. Okay lang yan. So make hihingin ko naman kay kay leader yung attendance niyo. Okay, so all right. So I think our reporters are ready to present their presentation, their report. Okay, so please welcome the group 3 discussing chapter 4, which is the tourism infrastructure, to be headed by Miss Pia Salceda Nevaras. All right, Miss Nevaras, please take it over. Yes, please. Introduce ko na kayo ah. Okay. All right.
Huge investment that only a state can budget for. Since malawak ang turismo sa buong mundo, may kanya-kanyang transpo bawat bansa. And alam natin na issue yan ng Pilipinas pagdating sa transportation. How we can cope with traffic and proper ways sa pagsunod sa mga protocol, and because of that, ang turismo ay kailangan ng malaking budget para sa maayos sa pamamalakad ng mga transportation through airlines, sea levels, or anything na accessible ang transport. Also, dahil din dito, mas nag increase ang modernization by means of transport. I will take over to Miss Pia to discuss about one of the components of tourism infrastructure.
Thank you, Ms. Montes. Then, accommodation. This is an important part of tourism infrastructure because any traveler will need a bed to sleep at the end of the day. So, yung accommodation daw is a key component of tourism when we travel or kapag kailangan natin ng lugar para sa pag-stayan. And dito na din pumapasok yung mga needs ng isang traveler such as lodging, food, service, or traveling space. Next. Accommodation comes in many forms. First, hotels. They come in various categories and standards and meet every possible budget. So, dito na pumapasok yung tinatawag nating luxury hotels or budget hotels. And kalimitan na nakalocated ito sa urban areas such as near busy business, sports hustling, and tourist attractions, and sports arenas or other such publicly busy areas. And then yung hotels are expensive than motels. Then yung hotels, nagpo-provide sila ng malawakang services from room service, food and beverage and housekeeping, laundry, or recreational services. Next. Motels are motor hotels located on the highways. Yung motels, nakikita natin to sa tabing kalsada like sa Sogo or yung mga ina malapit sa kalsada. And ito din yung pinaka cheaper choice to stay for a night or for few hours. And ito na ito for 1 or 2 floor lamang. And most important ng service ng hotel ay yung parking area. Next. Lodges are up-country accommodation.
Okay, Miss Pia. Tama ba? Can you tell us where the word motel came from? Where the motel word or originated or
Sir, kasi sa may motels po, ano po kasi, ano siya, kilala to para sa mga sa mga riding, sa mga motorcycle.
Okay. So, motel means?
Or yung motel for motorcycle yung mga traveler na mga nag-rides na inaabot ng long ride po.
Okay, so actually motels came from it's less yes po.
Roadside cabins po.
Okay, roadside cabins. Okay, well actually motels, yan, 'di ba? Meron tayong hotel na tinatawag. Okay? Ngayon, here comes nauso yung mga nagmo-motorsiklo. Okay? That's why this motel term, ayan, tulad nga ng nakalagay sa PowerPoint presentation nyo, it's actually a fusion of motor and hotels. Ayan, parang siyang pinaiksing term for those travelers na usually are in it's either motorcycle or cars that traveling a very long journey. Okay? Na yung tipong they will not stay for a very long period of time. They just have to see or to look for places like motels na ngayon na alongside or on the highway na pwede nilang tulugan for a couple of hours. Minimum yan is 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. Kaya yung mga motels, ganun yung mga services or mga ino-offer nila. Okay? Nagkaroon lang ng bad connotation ang mga motels. Kasi nga, 'di ba? Pang short time, yan. Kaya nagkaroon ng bad connotation. But motels are actually a legit accommodation facilities of a tourism or hospitality industry. Okay? Okay po?
Yes po.
So motels are came from two words which is motor and hotels that came kaya nagkaroon tayo ng motels na word. Okay? So please
Yes.
Nevares, please proceed. Thank you.
Next, lodges. Arab country accommodation mostly sponsored by the local state. And we will have forest lodges, country lodges, and sky lodges, etc. So, sa lodges, like example sa may forest lodges, ito yung isa na pwede din pagtulan ng isang traveler or guest na kalimitan or usually na matagpo natin ito sa middle forest. Like example po dito sir sa Pilipinas, sa may Hidden Valley Springs sa may Laguna po. Next. Guest houses were originally meant for government official on tour but they are now open to the public. So sa guest houses, ito yung private houses or small houses na ino-offer na nila sa low budget or luxury range of guests as tents like hotels and it's like home for service apartment and hotels similar like bed and breakfast po. Next. Furnished apartments are modern popular alternative to hotels, especially for travelers staying longer. Ito yung kalimitan na ginagamit or tinitirhan like ng mga student or yung mga nagtatrabaho na malayo sa bahay nila. They can staying longer, especially yung mga travelers. Next. Camps are ideal for trekkers on foot or caravan. They provide outdoor accommodation ranging from tents and porta cabins to caravan sites. Every traveler daw, maaari din sila magdala ng sarili nilang accommodation like ng tents. Pwede nila itong i-fold out and pwede din nila itong idalhin. And yung pinaka camps area dito sa Pilipinas, like example sa may Fortune Island sa may Nasugbu, Batangas or sa may San Rafael Rivers Adventure in Bulacan po. Next. Resorts are for holiday makers and located at attractive natural sites like hills, beaches, hot springs, waterfalls, lakes, etc. Man-made resort are the latest craze like Disneyland, etc. So, yung resort daw, ito yung resort and hotels, may pagka-similar sila katulad ng pag-offer ng malawakang facilities. Then, nag-offer din sila ng isang complete holiday package para sa mga clients nila para dumami or maging popular yung holiday destination nila for many people. Next. And the second component, airports and airlines, how both domestic and international carriers, governments indulge in having their national carrier to fly international routes even if they are unprofitable. So yung airlines, ito yung nagpo-provide ng air transport services for traveling passenger and yung mga freight or yung mga kargamento. And usually sa airports, makikita natin dito yung mga aircraft such as helicopters and yung mga aeroplane. Next. There are many reasons for this strategy. First, each government sees the potential for tourism and wishes to have a slice of it, and airlines bring inbound tourists into the country. Katulad po ngayon, or yung mga nakarang taon, over half of international tourists currently arrive to their destination. Halos 23 million tourists ang kumukuha ng flight kada taon or between now. Or ito yung tinatawag ng gobyerno na extraordinary growth of international tourism. Kaya yung government, nakikita nila yung potential ng world of tourism dahil sa mabilis na paglaki nito. Next. A national career is a source of pride. Ito
Carrier po yun ha, carrier.
Carrier po.
National carrier.
Sige po. Ito yung pagkakaroon ng satisfaction which you have done something good or possess something good. Dahil dito na pumapasok yung national career relating to the whole of country or nation. Dahil yung career, siya yung pinaka-source of pride ng airlines. Next.
Okay. Sa number 2 po, a national carrier is a source of pride. Parang ganito lang yan. It's like a flag of a nation. of a nation. Okay? Yung national carrier, sige nga, can you give an example or of a national carrier of, sige, sa Philippines na lang. What is the carrier or flag carrier of the Philippines? From the reporters. So we're talking about airlines and airports, right? Okay,
Yes po.
so um, number two, the second reason or for strategy of this airline and airport is the national carrier is a source of pride. So, what is the national carrier or flag carrier? What airline? Yan na lang. What?
Sir, sir, ako
Sige.
po.
Sino yan?
Sir, ano po, PAL po, Philippine Airlines po.
Philippine Airlines. Very good. So, Philippine Airlines is the flag carrier of the Philippines. Can you give other example of the flag carrier of other country? Sa mga reporters muna natin, magtanong tayo. And then wait po tayo sa sa mga students natin sa ano. You can give your examples already sa YT
Sa
channel.
Malaysia po.
Sa Malaysia, what is the flag carrier of Malaysia?
Malaysia Airlines po, sir.
Malaysia Airlines. Very good. What
Sir,
else?
ako
Yes,
po.
Miss
Sir,
Sarno.
yung sa United Arab po, Emirates po.
Yes, what is the flag carrier of UAE?
Wait lang.
Hindi,
Sir,
Sir, ako sir.
hindi ko alam. Okay lang yan, no problem. Sige.
Sa
Ano
Korea
po?
po, sir. Ako po, sir.
Ay,
Kasanes. Sige, tatawagin ko kayo isa-isa. Miss Kasanes, can you give example?
Sa Korea, sir. Korean
Korea.
Air.
Korean Air. Okay, Miss Mabini,
sa France po, sir, Air France.
Air France. Very good. Sige, Miss Sarno, hindi pa tayo tapos ha. Babalikan kita.
ako sir.
Kailangan
Wait lang, sir.
i-issue yan.
Wait lang, sir.
Okay, Miss Salimbao.
Sa India po, sir.
Sa India.
Air-
What is
Air India po.
Air India? Miss Morco? Nandito ba si
Sir,
Miss
nakauli,
Morco?
sir.
Miss Morco? Wala si Miss Morco. Miss Abiertas?
Sir, ako, sir.
Sir,
Yes, Miss Nevaras.
sa United States flag po, sir.
United States.
Apo.
What is the flag carrier of the United States? Miss Nevaras, nasa ka na? Ano? Nawala na sila. Okay, what else? Miss Sarno, meron na?
Sir, ako, sir.
Ano yung flag carrier ng UAE?
Etihad, sir.
Etihad. Pwede yun. Or the, what's the other one? Emirates.
Yun nga, sinabi ko kanina, sir.
Ayun ba yung sinabi mo kanina?
Yeah.
Okay, sige.
Parang galit
Hindi po.
Oo nga, parang may galit siya sa akin.
Hindi po.
galit ata, sir.
Okay. Or Qatar Airlines. Yan. Okay, so basa lang tayo ng mga example ng mga classmates niyo. Japan Airline Company. Or what's the other one? Yung ANA sa Japan, Vietnam Airlines, Dubai Airlines, American Airlines. Okay, Emirates. Sino makakapagsabi sa akin? Ito, meron na palang nagsabi. Sige nga, si Miss Barbarona. Saan pong anong country ang flag carrier na Qantas Airlines? Miss Barbarona. Saan yan? Sige nga, Miss Melody Geronimo. Cathay Pacific. What country?
Sir, pwede pa.
Sige, Miss
Sir, ako po.
Sarno.
Ano po, sa Australia?
Australia. Very good. Qantas is Qantas Airlines. Qantas po ang pronunciation din, hindi Qantas ha. Qantas Airlines is the flag carrier of Australia. How about the Cathay Pacific? Who can tell?
Sir, ako po.
Yes, Miss Morco.
Sa Hong Kong po.
Sa Hong Kong. Very good. Ayan. Okay, so the national carrier is a source of pride of this airline. So kapag kayo ay or this airlines natag as the national carrier of a country, so malaking factor yon for an airline. Okay? Number 3, Miss Nevaras.
Next is a national carrier links with certain
Carrier.
destination which other airline carrier sorry. A national carrier links with certain destination which other airlines do not reach due to political reasons. So yung katulad sa airline industry, sila yung pinaka-impacted pagdating sa regulation and restrictions related to international trade like sa may tax policy and competitions. And dito na din pumapasok yung issue or reason ng politika dahil sa issue na war or yung terrorism. And yung pinaka-outbreak sa politika nila is yung disease na tinatawag na Ebola. Kaya yung political, nag-report sila ng intervention or pakikialam. Next.
Okay, before we proceed, i-discuss ko lang to dito sa number 3. A national carrier links with certain destination which other airlines do not reach due to political reasons. I think nagkaroon ng problem dyan, if I am not mistaken, is the Dubai and I think Dubai yon. Okay? Kasi ang mga airlines po, okay, kapag meron silang political differences or may political issues sila, okay, an airline cannot pass through their country. For example, Philippines, galit ang Philippines sa isang airline or sa isang flag carrier ng isang airline. Okay? This specific airline, hindi sila pwedeng dumaan sa himpapawid natin because of political reasons, whatever political reason it is. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, if, madaling sabi, if a country did not give permission to an airline to pass through to their air, dun sa ibabaw ng country nila, pwede nila yung bombahin. Pwede nila yung patamaan ng missile at mamamatay lahat nung nasa eroplano na yun. Okay? Naintindihan po?
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Yes po.
Number 4.
Next is, airlines generate foreign exchange. Like po sa may money, ito yung kadalasan na ini-exchange. Ito yung meron dito sa loob ng airport, sir. Sa airline industry, and sila din yung nag-evaluate pagdating sa foreign exchange risk sa airline industry. Next. Airlines develop national tourism. So, dito na pumapasok yung paglaki and maintenance ng isang tourism industry. And nagkakaroon din sila ng strategies or plans para sa paglaki or pag-develop ng tourism para sa mga destinations. And yung isang paraan nila sa pag-develop ay yung pag-connect nila sa local communities. Next. Some busy airports handle 1,500 flights a day with passenger movement of up to 90,000 people per day. Like for example sa may New York to Tokyo, sila yung kalimitan ng walang non-stop flight. At isa din sila sa nakaka-handle ng 1,500 flights per day. Next. Airports are controlled by each country's national airports authority. They govern the standards of airport and their use. Next. Government negotiate with one another to grant certain freedom of the air to the air carriers of the other countries such as dito na po yung pumapasok yung pakikipag-ayos sa isa't isa ng bawat bansa para sa pagkakaroon ng freedom ng bawat air carrier nila. And next is the first is the right to overfly, the right to make a technical landing, and the right to carry passenger and freight from one territory to another. And the
Freight
right
po
to
yan,
carry
ha?
passenger. Sige po, sir.
Freight.
Freight.
Ayan, freight, yes.
And the right to carry passenger and freight from another country to one's own. So ito na yung mga karapatan ng bawat passenger na kahit saan man sila pumunta, mapalabas man ng bansa, madadala nila yung mga freight nila or yung mga gamit nila.
And that's why it's very important that yung relationship of a country to other country is very intact and maganda yung communications and relationship ng bawat isa. Okay? Kasi if not, no, they will not have the right to overfly. Ibig sabihin, yung tulad ng sinabi ko sa kanina, na they cannot fly to the air of this specific country if hindi maganda yung communication nila sa country na yon. Okay? Right to make a technical landing. For example, ang Philippine Airlines pupunta ng Amerika. And then, on the way, okay, hindi sila nagkaroon ng emergency and kailangan magkaroon ng technical landing. And unfortunately, yung nearest country na pwede nilang paglandingan ay hindi sila pwede maglanding doon. So, problema yon. Okay? Yan. So, yung right to carry passenger and freight from one's territory to another, freight is parang lagyan ng ng tax yung mga passengers na yon. Okay? So, for example, the US and the Philippines have had their relationship good and with good standing. Okay? So, both of them, Americans and Filipinos, pwede sila mag-carry ng passengers ng mga Pinoy at ng mga Amerikano. Okay? And so on and so forth. The right to carry passengers and freight from one country to one's own. Okay? Proceed.
Okay po, sir. Next is airport serves the following traffic. First, commuter traffic that connects small communities. They have commuter planes to keep small towns connected to larger cities. Katulad na lang sa seaplanes or sa helicopters. Sila din yung ginagamit para mapanatili yung mga maliliit na bayan na makakonect sa mga malalaking lungsod po, sir.
Okay.
Next. Regional airlines that serve certain regions within the country. They have territorial license to provide passenger and cargo services within well-defined areas. Yung regional airlines, siya yung pinaka-smallest sa tatlo. Ito yung international and yung national. And nakafocus siya sa pag-offering services within specific regions lamang. And kailangan din ng bawat regional na magkaroon ng territorial license para makapag-provide or serve sila sa passenger sa loob ng isang bansa na yon.
An example for our regional airlines, Miss Nevaras. Example po ng regional airlines. Dito sa Philippines na lang. Huwag na tayong lumayo.
Ako po, sir.
Yes, Miss Morco.
Cebu Pacific po.
Okay, very good. Cebu Pacific is one. Another one.
Ako po.
Yes, Miss Arno.
Naiya po, sir.
Philippines Air Asia po.
Air Asia. Yan. Yan. I think meron pang isa.
Try ko, sir.
Sige. Sige po, Miss Casanes.
Skyjet Airlines.
Yes, correct. So sila po yung mga paikot-ikot lang dito sa Philippines. So from NAIA, terminal. Sige nga, anong terminal? So I think we have 4 terminals in NAIA. Okay, saan po doon sa 4 na yon ang domestic airlines natin?
Terminal 3.
think sir, Terminal 1.
No.
Mali. Edi Terminal 2,
Terminal
sir.
2 po.
Terminal
Terminal
4. Terminal 4 po. Okay? So, ang mga domestic flights po natin, like the Cebu Pacific, ayan, yung Air Asia, Skyjet, ay nasa Terminal 4 po. Okay? Alright, please proceed.
Next is truck airlines. Provide services to larger areas, primarily the principal cities of the country. Ito yung nag-serve sa mas malalaking lugar, lalo na yung mga mataas na muno or yung mahawak sa kada country. And isa din siya bilang major airlines, career bilang extended system of routes. Next. International airlines that connect the country to foreign countries. Ito yung pinaka-largest kumpara sa regional or national. Kilala din siya bilang most high-profile and most successful airlines. Next po. The airports will tailor their size of operation and facilities to the kind of airline they serve. Municipal airports may serve all purposes and have advanced facilities. Airports will have basic facilities like first control towers that oversee the movement of aircraft in the air and on the ground. Ito yung sir, yung nangangasiwa or the word oversee. Ito yung nag-o-observe sa lahat ng aircrafts. And ito din yung nag-i-inform sa mga pilots tungkol sa pagkakaroon ng airport traffic or landing routes or wind speeds and runway details. Or tinatawag din siyang nerve system of an airport. Next is runways that range from strips of grass for light commuter planes to sophisticated tarmacs for heavier jets. Ito yung rectangular area kung saan nagpe-prefer yung mga aircraft para sa paglanding or sa paglapag. And may tinatawag din silang special markings na naiiba sa normal roadways. Then yung meron din silang tinatawag na after sunset dahil nakapag-provide ito ng lightings para makatulong sa ligtas na paglanding ng bawat aircraft. And the next is hangar. For repair and maintenance of aircraft, ito yung sir, yung lugar kung saan nag-repair yung or ni-repair yung mga aircrafts and kailangan dito dapat for large area para sa pagkakaroon ng comfortable movements ng aircraft. And
hangar po yun, hangar.
Hangar po, sir.
Hangar.
Sige po, sir. And loading aprons where planes are parked and accessed by passenger and cargo. And modern airports have overhead bridges to unload passenger directly into airports. Ito yung kung saan ginagamit nilang parking place for aircrafts. And karaniwan to sir nakalokay dito sa sa front of terminal building ng hangars or katabi niya ito. And the next is taxiways are the internal lanes connecting to the runways. Ito yung nakakonect sa bawat dulo ng runway na may terminal ng apron or hangars. Next. Surface transportation parking lots for cargo trucks, private cars, and coaches to transfer passenger their bag. Ito yung parking lot ng mga cargo trucks, private cars, at sila din yung yung ginagamit to transfer passenger or the goods. Example po sa goods yung oil or yung mga milk. And sila yung kalimitan na sasakyan na ginagamit to transport or to transfer. The next is baggage. Claim areas where passenger retrieve baggage after a flight. Dito na pumapasok yung before or after mo makapag-flight, need natin ipa-check yung mga baggage natin. Then, pwede na natin to i-claim. And next is ticketing counters where tickets may be bought and flights and seat assigned. Karaniwan ito sa airport. Alam naman natin po lahat na sa airport po, bibili ng ticket. And kung saan tayo bibili ng ticket for flight and kung saan tayo itinalaga sa pesto or kung anong araw yung flight ng bawat passenger. And the next is cargo terminals where tons of mail and freight are unloaded for onward movement. Dito na yung binabagsak yung or binababa yung mga package or yung mga freight or yung mga cargamento na tinatawag natin. And kung yung movement natin and unloaded, pwede natin itong ilapag muna sa dock and i-line up natin, then start po natin gamitin yung cranes para mapabilis yung movement natin or mapapaster. And pero depende din po to sa paggamit ng crate kasi naka-limit to kasi nagko-cost po siya ng money. And the next is bonded areas for unaccompanied baggage to be collected. Ito yung area na pinaghihiwalay yung mga walang bagahe. Then ito din yung once na nag-travel ka, kinukuha nila yung baggage ng mga passengers. And nakakatulong din ito kapag kinakailangan po natin mag-fill up ng mga form. And the third components, next po, Archaeological Department.
Okay,
It's a government arm that
Any question po for the airline and airports po? Baka may clarification. So it's very important na alam natin tong this component of tourism infrastructure. Okay? Kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga airlines and airports po, nagpapatalbugan or nagpapagandahan niya ng kanilang mga services, ng facilities para sa ikagaganda ng tourism. Okay? Syempre, kung pupunta ka nga naman sa isang lugar tapos yung isang airline or isang airport ay hindi kagandahan, bakit ka pa babalik? Okay? So that is one. Okay? Dun sa accommodation naman po, i-discuss pa natin yan more often. Okay? Marami pa tayong itatackle about accommodation. So meron na tayo nung chapter 1 and 2 regarding accommodation. So ngayon, dinaanan lang din natin. Okay? In different types of accommodation. So airlines and airports that diniscuss na. And then now, we're going to the third one, which is the Archaeological Department.
Archaeological Department is a government arm that preserves and maintains heritage sites such as ancient palace, forts, mausoleums, and memorials, etc. Like po dito sa Pilipinas, yung yung palace sa Malacanang, palace sa Manila po. Then example din po sa forts, sa may Puerto de Capul, sa may Northern Samar po. And yung mausoleum sa Pilipinas, yung sa may Chinese cemetery sa Manila po. Next year. They would also monitor the decay of the materials of the structures and take such remedial steps to prevent deteriorations without taking out the original value of the property. So every government daw po, need nila subaybayin yung pagkabulok ng mga materials or bigyan remedial upang maiwasan yung pagkasira ng bawat materials nang walang inalis na pag-aari ng isang lugar na yon. Dahil yung mga ginamit na materials noon na hindi pangkaraniwan. Katulad na lamang po sa may pyramid or also yung mga temples po. And next. India's most fascinating archaeological discoveries. And example po ito sir sa India po. Ito po yung isang example po sa India, yung archaeological. Sa may sa tinatawag po natin na Konark Temple. And since 12th century pa po siya binuksan. And kung i-compute po natin to, mula ngayon, 771 years old na siya. And mahalaga din po sa atin na pag-aralan yung mga bagay na ganito dahil nagpo-provide ito sa atin ng opportunity to learn about past cultures sa pamamagitan ng pag-aaral natin katulad sa artifacts and animal bones or minsan yung human bones po. In the fourth, para may iwasan po yung yung pagkakaroon ng traffic. The next. There are 5 main types of bridges. First, beam bridge. Ito yung yung madalas natin nakikita katulad ng highway overpasses or flyovers or walkways. And ito din yung pinaka-inexpensive among all types of bridges. Some example po sa may sa Lausanne, United States is yung Lake Pontchartrain Causeway. Siya yung pinaka-world's longest continuous beam bridge over water. And the second, next, Cantilever Bridge. Siya yung sir, example po sir sa may beam bridge po, sa may Pilipinas po, sa may Sogod Southern Leyte po. And the next is Cantilever Bridge. Siya yung ano po, yung nag-handle ng larger traffic and yung structure that project along x-axis in space. And some example nito sa may the fourth bridge in Scotland is a railway bridge and isa din siya sa pinaka-oldest known cantilever bridges. An example sa Pilipinas sa may San Juanico Bridge, sa may Samar, sa may Tacloban, Leyte. And the next is Art Bridge. Siya yung is always located below the bridge or never above it. And some example nito sa may the oldest stone art bridge sa may Greek Arcadico, and which is over 3,000 years old na siya. And example sa Pilipinas nito sa may Puerto de Malagonlong sa may Tayabas, Quezon po. Next. Suspension bridge. Ito yung nag-resist or ito yung lumalaban para sa mga earthquakes, and yung materials niya such as roofs or beams. An example nito sa may the Golden Gate Bridge po sa may California po sa Marin County. An example nito sa Pilipinas sa may Magipig po sa may Cagayan River po sa may Lalaw po. The next is Truss Bridge. Usually po forming siya sa triangular units. An example nito sa may Francis Scott Key Bridge sa may Maniplan po sa may United States since 1977 pa po siya. Then example natin sa Pilipinas, yung sa may Ayala Bridge or matatagpo natin sa may Pasig River in Manila. And I will take over to Ms. Sarno to discuss the customs. Thanks.
Thank you,
Thank you
Miss
so much.
Ibaras.
Thank you so much po. Naririnig po ako, sir.
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay pa. Good morning, good afternoon po, sir. So, I can tackle or discuss about custom or the fifth components. Custom is an important security wing of the government at airports and surface transport terminals to protect a country from illegal traffic of banned goods like drugs, animal skins, and firearms, and etc. So, sinasabi dito sa custom is isa sa pinakamahalagang sangay ng gobyerno or the security wing assigned by the government and airports to control the enters and leaves country pa. Next. Julia, next muna. So, custom duty generate income to the country's coffers by levying customs duty on permissible item listed by the government. So, sa organization po nila is nagpo-protect sila sa isang bansa sa about po sa mga illegal trafficking nga po. Then, ang custom po ay kumikita ng malaki at the same time po, malaki yung ambag nila sa tax ng binibigay sa gobyerno sa isang lugar po.
How?
What?
How customs contributed so much taxes or
For
income for the country?
I'm not sure, sir, pero sa mga nakuha ata po nila or na-confiscate ng mga bagay po. Kasi malaki po ata yun pag meron po silang na-confiscate or may nahuli po silang mga illegal po. Malaki po yung feedback or malaki po yung kita po. I don't think so kung ganun po.
Okay, sige. Doon muna tayo sa positive side. Tsaka na yung negative side.
Sige, sir.
Okay, so positive side, okay, whenever doon dumadaan galing overseas. Ayan, sabi ni Mr. Joshua Garabiles. Ayan, correct. So, everything na papasok, okay, from goods, imported furniture, computers, or anything, firearms, na ini-import natin, okay, meron pong tinatawag yung tax. Okay? At everything din po na i-export natin, okay, from our country to other country. Yan. So, import, ibig sabihin, from other country, ipapasok sa ating bansa. Okay? And then export po from our country going outside. Okay? Just to be clear. So, lahat po yon may taxes po yon. Okay? Pag maglalabas ka ng product from our country, going out, may tax. kapag ikaw naman po ay mag-i-import from other country going inside our country, meron pong tax. So doon po kumikita ang ating gobyerno. So ang customs po, hawak po yan, customs or Department of Customs is one arm of the government. Okay? Now, kapag may mga illegal, yung tulad ng example mo, Miss Sarno, yan. For example, hindi mo dineclare ang real price of a specific product na i-import mo. Yan, doon po magkakaroon ng additional taxes or fine for that. Kasi you did not declare the real price of the export or import na itatransact mo. Okay? Ganun po siya nag-work. Okay?
Okay po.
Alright.
So, dito po sa Pilipinas, sa Pinas po kasi kilala yung custom po dahil sa mga nababalit ng issue like balikbayan box na pinapadala ng mga OFW. Dahil sila po yung responsible po nila yung pag-handle ng mga ganitong package. They're often held po accountable or sila yung sinisisi sa mga sila yung sinisisi ng pamilya kapag may kulang or may mga damage yung pinapadala.
Yes.
Ganyan po.
Kasi mostly, one of the reasons why na bubuksan lang yan ni custom kapag hindi siya pumasa dun sa x-ray. Okay, kapag sa perception or sa tingin ni custom agent ay merong hinalang bagay sa loob ng balikbayan boxes mo, doon nila yan bubuksan. But it's also their responsibility since binuksan nila yon, kailangan pag-ingatan nila yon. And then in the event na bubuksan yung package mo or yung balikbayan box mo, maglalagay din sila ng letter na this has been checked by the Department of Custom or a custom agent for further inspection, blah blah blah. I don't know the exact kasi I haven't experienced doing that kind of transaction. Okay? And with the issue of like some sort of that, ayoko na lang magsalita. Okay, bahala na sila. Okay.
Next. So yung isa yung example namin sir, yung nadeklara po to is October 5 po, latest lang po siya or October 5, 2021 po. Yung BS rate in Valenzuela yields illegal cosmetic product and supplement po.
Ayan.
So naano po ng Maynila or MICP or Maynila Container Port po agent site import cosmetic product like vitamins po or supplements na hindi po aprobado or hindi po siya dumaan sa FDA or tinatawag nilang Food and Drug Administration po. So confiscate po nila dito kasi kung ganito po yung case ng nakuha nila, ay hindi po pwede itong ibenta kasi hindi po siya dumaan sa FDA or tinatawag ng Food and Drug Administration po kasi baka may kulang po or mali yung mga ganun po. Yun lang.
Okay, very good. Ayan, tama yon. So, if the product is not FDA approved, especially if it is food, yan, cosmetic products, iko-consume ng mga Filipinos, okay? If it's not FDA approved, okay, at dumaan sa custom, wala sa listahan ng custom na FDA approved to, confiscated po yan. Okay, hindi po yan hahayaang makapasok ng bansa natin. It's either i-destroy nila yan or bahala sila, whatsoever na gagawin nila doon. Okay?
Sir, may tanong po ako.
Yes po.
Totoo po ba yung mga custom, pag may na-confiscate po silang item, sinusunog po ba nila yan or nililibing sa lupa? Totoo po ba yan?
Well, I can't confirm that question kung ano talaga yung ginagawa nila for that. Okay? But yung confiscation kasi is that hindi siya hahayaang makonsumo ng mga Filipino. Okay, we're talking about the Philippine custom ha. So if confiscated yan, it's either susunugin nila yan, ibabaon sa lupa, i-destroy, or for example, pagkain, no, na nabubulok naman, and then the custom are doesn't have the interest of consuming it, ganun ang gagawin nila. Ibabaon nila yan sa lupa. But if it is like cosmetic products, I don't know if what they will do of if cosmetic products yung na-confiscate nila and what kung ano man.
Okay po. Next. So, the sixth components po is the duty-free shop. Our major foreign exchange earner for any country, foreign and domestic goods except from local excesses, making these goods cheaper than those in the local market. Next muna, Julia. Ay, balik pala. So, basically po, this pertains to shop para sa mga traveler or turismo po. Yung makikita po natin like airports po, saka sa bus, train, or ship terminal. From the word itself po, tinatawag silang duty-free. Kadahilan ng hindi free from duty of taxes. Meaning to say po, hindi sila nire-required ng government na magbayad ng taxes and operating business unlike other stores po. Dahil dito, mas mura yung benta nila na product compare po sa local market.
Okay, Miss Arno, excuse me, may question lang po si Miss Joanna Buenaobra. I don't know if question ba to or comment niya lang kasi walang question mark, wala ding period. Okay, kahit po sa business or work may tax po. Kapag business o meron siyang tax, automatic 'yon. Okay, for example, nakapangalan sa isang corporation, okay, from one corporation to another corporation, automatic itatag nila 'yon as business. Okay? But if it is for household or house parang sa kamag-anak mo lang, okay? Depende 'yun sa value ng dadaan sa custom. Kasi lahat 'yun dadaan sa custom eh. Okay? So depende 'yan sa value yung magiging tax noon. Kapag may certain bracket sila eh. For example, if the product is more than 10,000 and up, yan, may mga tax na yon. Ganun po sila magano. I don't know, I'm not sure with the exact figure if it is 10,000 or higher. Okay? But ganun po sila mag-compute ng tax. Okay? So, Miss Sarno, please proceed.
So, sinasabi nga dito sa duty-free shop, kaya siya tinawag na duty-free shop kasi hindi po siya, meaning to say, hindi po siya ni-required ng government na magbayad ng taxes and operating business po, unlike po other stores. Dahil dito, mas mura po yung benta nila kasi na product compare po sa local product po. So, yung karamihan po pumupunta dito ay sa mga foreigner po or galing po abroad.
Okay, may question tayo sa white sa chat box natin.
Ano po yan?
Sa airlines lang po ba merong duty free shops?
No.
No. Huwag kang galit.
Sinabi ko nga kanina, which is sa bus terminal or ship terminal sa barko o sa train. Makakita nyo yan. So, according sa my experience ko, sir, I've been into duty-free shop sa NAIA po nung umuwi po akong Davao. In my own perspective po, I don't think so po the prices is cheap.
Cheaper, no? Actually, minsan mas mahal pa sila.
Yeah, sir. Hindi ko alam kung wala lang talaga akong pabili or mahal lang talaga sobra. Kasi po pag about po alcoholic din pumasok po kami sa duty free shop po. Sobrang mahal po.
Sobrang mahal. Oo, mahal talaga. Well, ang sinasabi lang po kasi niyan, syempre pag sinabing duty free, it's tax free. Okay? Pero meron din namang ibang mga products sa duty free na mura compared dun sa ibang, for example, bibili mo siya sa loob na ng country. Okay? May mga ganong instances din naman po.
Okay. Next. Emigration or immigration are the important component of any travel outside one's country. Of any foreign traveler, we need visa to enter the country. So immigration, from its very definition, describes the movement of people into the country from another. Pero pag sa airport context po, ang immigration or immigration po ay kilala for passport control or border control po. Involved sila sa mandatory ng process po ng pagkuha ng visa at pag-stamp ng passport. Ah, hindi ka naman po ata makakapasok ng ibang bansa kung wala kang visa. Like, di ba sir, kung pumunta ka sa ibang lugar, kailangan mo ng visa or kailangan mo
Yes.
ng
That's
dumaan sa immigration bago ka aprubahan kung pwede kang pumunta sa isang lugar.
okay. Can you give examples kung saan lang tayong bansa pwedeng pumunta at hindi pwedeng pumunta?
Sa hindi pwede pumunta sir, pwede ako.
Sige lang.
Well, alam ko po yung yung mahirap po pasukan na lugar is Amerika po.
Okay, that's one
Kasi
very
hindi
good example.
Hindi po siya prone sa tourism or wala po sa batas nila yung pagtanggap ng mga turismo. Kasi po pag may paano po sa batas or ilalagay nila sa batas, kailangan po ng sangkatahuan po na aprubahan po bago po payagan na pumunta po doon.
Okay, so that's one. America or USA, United States of America. Filipinos cannot go there unless you have a visa. Okay? One other, sige, saan pa? North Korea.
North Korea, sir.
Sa North Korea, kailangan mo din ng visa. Okay? Sige, magbigay kayo ng example ng mga bansa na kailangan natin ng visa to enter. Sige, what else? Yung kailangan natin ng visa mag-apply. Mag-apply ng visa to enter that specific country. North Korea, Japan, this one, correct. China, correct. Miss Paragas. New Zealand is correct. Miss Degit. What else? Reporters, how about the Switzerland, Australia, yes.
USA po.
Saan po?
USA po.
USA, nabanggit na nga po kanina. US, Australia, Canada. Okay. Mostly po, ayan, Thailand, we don't need, hindi natin kailangan ng visa sa Thailand.
Japan, sir.
Japan po, kailangan po natin ng visa. China, UAE, kailangan. Finland, Israel, kailangan. Saudi, Switzerland, New Zealand, Qatar, England, or UK. Malaysia. Ayan. Okay, yan. Binigay nyo na halos lahat. Okay. Some countries, ipinapayagan naman po tayong pumasok without applying for a visa. Like for example, yan, Thailand. Ano pa? Sa reporters ako magtatanong. What else?
Germany, sir.
Germany, kailangan... Sa Spain, kailangan din po natin ng visa doon.
Sa Brazil, sir.
Brazil,
Singapore,
pwede.
sir.
Hong Kong.
Singapore,
Ay,
pwede.
Colombia, sir.
Colombia, kailangan... Ay, hindi. Sa
Malaysia, sir. Malaysia,
Kasi
sir.
pwede sa Colombia, sir, kaso lang 90 days lang
90
po.
days lang, yes. Yan.
Taiwan,
So,
sir.
Sa
Armenia.
Taiwan, pwede. Sa
14 days.
Taiwan, recently lang nilift nila yung visa requirement.
Sa Brunei, sir.
Okay. Recently lang yan. I think mga 2018 or 2019 po, nilift ni Taiwan yung pag-require ng visa. Okay?
Sa Turkey, sir.
Sa Turkey, pwede.
Brunei, sir.
Brunei, pwede.
Iran po, Iran.
Ay, sige,
Singapore.
mag-isa ka.
Sa Singapore,
Punta ka
sir.
doon. Ayan.
Croatia po.
Mostly po, Southeast Asia. Ayan. Ano ba yung mga Southeast Asian country? Yan, Laos. Yan, Macau, pwede. Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Brunei, if I'm not Laos. Yung, di ba nagkaroon tayo ng Southeast Asian game? Tama ba? Yung Southeast Asia is
Opo.
SEA Games. SEA Games. So mostly lahat ng participants po na yon, hindi po natin kailangan mag-apply for visa to enter their country. But again, may restriction lang or maximum of 90 days. Okay? Ganon. And meron din naman sa mga ibang ibang country na I mean hindi lang Southeast Asia na pwede tayong pumasok without visa. Okay, sino nag-report ito, Miss Arno? Sa tingin mo, why countries like US, Canada, United Kingdom, European Union or EU, Australia, bakit nila nire-require na mag-apply muna tayo ng visa para bago makapasok ng bansa nila?
I think so, sir. Kasi mahigpit yung sa government ka po kasi yan eh. Mahigpit yung government po nila. Hindi po kagaya sa yung hindi na po kailangan ng visa. Or kailangan nila ng monitor ng isang tao, kaya kinakailangan ng visa. Para ma-monitor kung sa ilang buwan or ilang taon ka lang doon sa isang bansa. Kasi pag nag-overstay ka po, di ba po yung mga ibang bansa, may iilan na bansa na yung consequence ng overstaying po or mababan ka doon sa isang lugar or hindi ka na pwedeng bumalik doon.
Correct. Okay. Yung mga countries na nabanggit natin na nagre-require ng visa, usually sila po yung mga first world country na tinatawag, or yung mga matataas or maganda yung pamumuhay sa kanila. Yan, US, Canada, Australia, no? Sila po yung mga first world country. So usually mga third world country and tayo, Philippines, mga Pilipino ay included. The Philippines is included to the third world country. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa ganun ka progressive. Okay? And also one of the reason is that mataas yung corruption rate, mga ganun. So, ina-avoid ng mga countries na to na makapasok ang mga taga third world country sa country nila para mag-TNT sila doon, illegal stay, yan. So ayaw nila noon because of many factors. Okay? Because of many factors. And so you have to apply for a visa to enter. Kailangan, sige, ano bang requirement para makapag-apply ng visa? Do you know?
Isa dun, sir, is kung sa Pilipino po is Philippine citizen po.
What else?
Diba?
What else? Ano mga requirement to apply for a visa? NBI clearance, sabi ni Romnick Fornea. Okay, NBI clearance, kailangan wala kang kaso. Reason
Medical
of visit,
certificate.
correct. Ano po yun?
Medical certificate.
Medical certificate, kung wala kang sakit, ganun, makakahawa ka ng COVID. Ano ba yun? Ano pa? Passport, malamang. Kailangan mo ng passport pag pupunta ka sa ibang bansa. Red ribbon stamp. What's that? I am not familiar with the red ribbon stamp. Sa mga reporters natin, any idea what requirements before you an ID, sir? Okay, yung ID po, yung passport po natin will be our international ID. Okay? PSA. Yan. Okay, ganito. Pera. Very good, Miss Escanio. Kailangan mo ng pera. Okay? What do I mean? Seryoso ako. Kailangan mo ng pera. Okay? Financial capability is the correct term. Okay? Na sinabi ni Miss Panganiban. Alright? Kailangan, pag mag-a-apply ka ng visa, kailangan mo ng proof of income and kailangan yung financial capability mo to do the whatever reason na sasabihin mo sa immigration officer. Okay? For example, ako, gusto ko pumunta ng US. Tapos, kailangan po namin ng bank statement. Tapos, ang nasa bank statement mo, 1,500 pesos. Sa tingin mo papayagan ka ng immigration officer para makapag-apply ng visa? Reporters, I'm talking to you. Kayo lang
Hindi
pong
po.
kausap ko. Hindi po.
Sir, swab test.
Hindi
Okay.
po.
Hindi po. Diba? So, kailangan mo na, at saka, hindi yung tipong, pare, mag-a-apply ka bukas. No? Ngayon lang papasok, or last week lang pumasok yung, for example, 150,000 pesos dun sa bank account mo. Hindi ka rin po bibigyan ng visa ng immigration officer. Okay? Hindi ka rin bibigyan kasi, show money mo lang yon. Sir, swab test kailangan. Ewan ko sa inyo. Okay, kunwari walang pandemic pa ngayon. Okay? Let's talk about wala pang pandemic. ITR is correct. Okay, kailangan meron kang work, meron kang proof of income, financial stability or capability. Yan, para aprubahan ka nila. Okay? Nung nag-apply kami doon sa UK ng visa, kasi kailangan ng visa to enter UK. Siguro kalahating rim ng bond paper, ganun kakapal yung documents na kailangan namin isubmit just to prove that we have a job here in the Philippines. We have property here in the Philippines na tipong meron kaming babalikan dito sa Pilipinas. May trabaho kami, meron kaming pera, meron kaming ari-arian or property dito sa Philippines para makapasa ka. Okay? And kasama din doon yung reason of travel. Bakit ka pupunta sa bansa namin? Anong gagawin mo dito? Kailangan ng itinerary from the time na pumasok ka sa bansa, saan ka pupunta, day 1, day 2, ilang days ka, kunwari 13 days. O, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, hanggang matapos, hanggang umalis ka ng bansa na yon, saan ka pupunta? Kailangan ng itinerary mo. Okay?
Sir, may tanong ako, sir.
Yes po, Miss Sarah.
Di ba po yung OFW or overseas Filipino workers po, di ba po kailangan po yun ng visa?
Yes.
So, kailangan po nila ng yung stable na trabaho dito, hindi?
Hindi po. Ibang usapan po kapag sa OFW or overseas Filipino workers po. Okay? Meron tayong maraming klase ng visa. Merong tourist visa, number 1. Meron tayong tinatawag na working visa para sa ating mga OFWs. Yan. Meron din tayong tinatawag na ano pa? Sige, sino makakapagbigay pa ng isa pa? Reporters. Meron tayong tourist visa, working visa, for student visa. Very good, Miss Brillantes.
Business visa.
Okay. Business visa, usually po yun, binibigay yun ng mga company, pero working visa po yun. Okay.
Okay po.
Student visa, kapag, for example, the course or the degree you want to study is not available here in the Philippines at available lang siya dun sa country na kailangan ng visa, dun ka lang bibigyan ng student visa. At saka kailangan meron kang pera, no? Meron kang pera to sustain the studies there. Okay? And meron ka ding tawag dito recommendation or recommendation of the school na a-applyan or papasukan mo. Okay? What else? Travel visa, tourist visa, travel visa is the same. Meron pa is
Employment visa po.
resident visa kapag ipipetisyon ka ng kamag-anak mo kung eligible ka pa for that. Okay? Non-immigrant visa. Yan, employment or business visa, yan. Or working visa, that's and then kapag din for example, ayun, ang tawag dun sa jowa or asawa na Ganun muna. I can't remember dun sa ano.
Immigration and nationalization visa.
Yun, parang ganon. Pag kuwari, nakapangasawa ka ng Amerikano, okay, Canadian, okay, pupunta ka muna doon as the fiancé, yon, fiancé visa. A-applyan mo din yon. Tapos papakasal kayo doon and so on, doon ipaprocess yung citizenship mo. Ganun. Ano siya. Okay? So, more of that. Any question, clarification po? Rana,
Sir, may sir.
Yes po.
Paano po kapag yung sir, yung taga-ibang bansa po yung pupunta sa yung mga kailangan?
Depends on the nationality or country na pupunta dito. Kung sila ba ay pwedeng magstay dito or hindi. Okay? Like for example, ang mga Americans, pwede silang pumunta dito without mga Americans, Canadians, yan. Mga taga UK, pwede silang pumunta dito without applying visa. Di ba unfair? Ang unfair, no? Tayo pag pupunta sa kanila, may kailangan ng visa, tapos sila pag pupunta sa atin, hindi na kailangan ng visa. Di ba? Medical visa is another one. Very good, Miss Geronimo. Okay, pag ikaw ay for example, before, yung wala pang heart surgeon dito sa Philippines, yan. Usually yan sa America, sa Canada lang merong heart surgeon, yan. Tawag doon unfair. Yan. So pwede kang mag-apply for medical visa. Okay? So much for that. Let's proceed with another topic, please.
Next, some countries due to political compulsion make the granting of the visas very difficult. Sir, na-explain na yan kanina. Next na. Obviously, tourism in those countries will suffer and embassies and consulate that issue visas in any country. So, na-discuss na din yan kanina. Next. So, at this point po, speaking of pagkuha ng visa, mahalagang malaman natin yung pagkakaiba ng embassies and high commission at consulate po kasi itong mga to ay representation of the one country in another. Next. So, sa high commission are the diplomatic of those countries that belong to Commonwealth state. Once under the British rule headed by the High Commission. So,
High Commissioner.
High Commissioner. Pag sinabing High Commissions po, yung nag-head po sa kanila is a High Commissioners, which is yung High Commissioners po is hawak nila yung Commonwealth state na kung saan yung Commonwealth is they are one of who form free association and independent country po. Which is mga example po dito yung lugar na Commonwealth state is United Kingdom, Canada, Australia po. Next nga, Julia. Then the embassy po are those sovereign states that were not affected by the British rule and are headed by the ambassador. So nag-head din po dito yung sa embassies is ambassador po. O if we say ambassador po, representative po ng lugar sa isang lugar or sa isang bansa po. So ang pagkakaiba ng mga to po is embassy is high commission po is primarily concerned with the presenting the foreign government with local authorities and maintaining diplomatic relation po between us or US or Philippines or United States or Philippines. Sila rin yung nag-a-approve ng visa ng gustong pumunta sa US po. Next. Consulate are the representative office are embassies and high commissions and principal cities of the country to make visa and other services more reachable. Consulate are headed by the Consul General. So, ang consulate naman ay sub-representation ng ibang lugar or nagsisilbi silang representative ng mga citizens sa isang host authority, territory, or nagpe-perform ng mga administrative services po. Tulad ng pagpo-provide ng general assistance sa mga citizens who are living or traveling in the particular host country po. Yun po yung pagkakaiba ng tatlo. So, next. I take over to Diana Casanes to discuss the ATL for Emporiumus. Uh, Thank you po, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Harno. Number 8 components of the tourism infrastructure is Emporium. May be located at airports and local shopping centers. They sell the local handicrafts of the nation. We all know that different countries may have a different kinds of recreational things do to make enjoyable and memorable trip for tourists. Not only to make them happy but also make them have a memorable experience to the country they visit. Next. Travelers want to take souvenirs of the country back home and visit these shops to take authentic handicraft. Example na dyan sa Baguio, sa Mines View Park. Baguio pasalubong can be found in Mines View Park gaya ng peanut brittle, sweet butter cookies, chocolate flakes, knitted apparel, walis tambo, strawberry and obi jam, crinkles, strawberry wines, and more. Next. Number 9, entertainment is a huge arena of activity for every kind of taste. Next po. Modern facilities like joyrides in theme parks. Example na dyan din sa Baguio, sa Burnham Park in Baguio. Burnham Park Lake that is man-made and the swan boats that people of all ages can enjoy. It also overlooks the tallest mountain in the region, which is the Mount Kabuyao. So your trip here will surely be worth it. And water worlds have transported entertainment to new heights of excitement. Example na dyan yung sa Bonifacio Monument in Manila, the musical dancing fountain. Number 10. Next. Number 10. Each city also has its entertainment district consisting of theaters, cinemas, nightclubs, restaurants, and bars. Next po. Number 10. Exchange bureaus. Convert foreign currency into local currency. Next po. The exchange bureaus can be found at airport surface transfer terminal, shopping malls, and shopping district. Shopping district is an area of a city or town containing a significant number of shops or stores. Exchange bureaus, they convert money for us to easily convert or exchange the appropriate money to our specific country, like dollars convert to Philippine money. Next po. Of course, all banks have the license to convert foreign currency. Siyempre, lahat ng mga bangko ay dapat may lisensya upang mag-convert na foreign currency. The next topic will be food and beverage establishment and will be discussed by Jolia Montajes.
Food and beverage and establishment. Food services are implicit to travel, just as people need shelter when traveling. So do they need food to get. Tourism provide both state-sponsored and private food facilities to meet any taste and budget. Dahil nga we are in travel, hindi talaga maiiwasan ng gutom. So that tourism creates some food establishment for the people who are traveling around the country. Mahirap kasi ang lack of foods, lalo na't nasa biyahe ka. Kaya nga nauso ang mga food booths to access easier sa mga pagkain at water na need ng mga tao. Aside sa mga food booths, marami na rin ang mga fast food chain na may kita near in, kaya di ka magugutom basta you have your budget. These facilities may be classified as follows: restaurants, bars, kiosks, and cafes. First, restaurant may be found in every street corner, roadside, or at public meeting place. Dito, expensive ang mga foods na hinahain. Hindi lahat ng tao afford ang mga resto. Ang restaurant kasi may mga variant at unique style dishes na mas madalas mayayaman ang kumakain. So we have here po na may be classified as follow po sa restaurant: coffee shop, specialty restaurant, grill rooms, dining rooms, discotheque, nightclubs, food bars, fast food, casual dining restaurants, diners, and food courts. Second, bars. These are places where alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages are served. Pwede mo makita to sa mismong hotel na pinag-stayan nyo kasi may mga hotel po na may party room. Bars are mostly spare time ng mga tao and syempre limited lang din ang nakakapasok. Kids not allowed except you are 18 above. May kita kasi dito is more on liquor and drugs na bawal sa mga bata dahil nga spare time pang walwalan and ang bar for hanging out with someone or friends. Depende sa bar na pupuntahan niya kung expensive ba yung mga alak or mga sinaserve nila. Canteen. It is a concept that has come from institutional catering where food is served to large bodies of people. Dito lahat pwede kumain. Normal food yung matitikman mong luto like mga lutong bahay, ganon, at afford ng lahat. And hindi siya limited. Kahit ilan kayo, pwede kayo kumain dito kasi mapagsaservan or maaasikaso nila kayo. Example na lang po dito is yung sa school. No face-to-face, meron po tayong canteen. Yung mga canteen staff, yung mga sinaserve nila is swak sa budget ng estudyante at afford ng lahat. Tapos po, lahat sila makakain. Kiosk. These are viable private enterprises. Ito naman po, nabasa ko to before, pero I think ginawa siya sa mga taong nagmamadali at tamad pumasok ng mall. Pero di naman lahat. Since food booth siya, itsura niya kasi sir, para siyang food court. Ayun, food court po. Since food booth siya, kumbaga ginawa to para sa mga taong napadaan lang, ganon. And may mga food booths na afford, meron namang hindi. Depende sa pagkain. Mas goods din siya sa mga park at mga streets kasi mas easy na lang ang pagbili. No need na pumunta sa mga malayo. Pero minsan may nakita ko indoor na ganito sir. Sa mga mall, like sa Dunkin' Donut po, meron silang food booth. Last one is cafe. These are pavement eateries so popular in Europe, especially France. Dito naman, student at mga employer, basta anything na gumagawa ng school at company work nila, mostly makikita mo dito. Especially pag school day or work day. Kasi sa mga cafe, masarap mag-aral, masarap ang ambience, walang store-bought, tahimik. Coffee ka lang, frap, ganon. Pero since coffee nga siya, iba ang mga coffee dito. Pricey. Mga light meal lang sinaserve nila, pero hindi porket light meal lang siya, hindi siya mahal. Mostly sa mga cafe, ang mamahal ng mga sinaserve nila, pero worth to buy naman kasi masarap. Kaya kung student ka pa lang at tabayan mo ang Starbucks or any coffee shop, mayaman ka. Next components po is food service innovation. There is no limit to where and when food can be provided. There are no rules as what is right and what is not. The lifestyle of the different segments of the market determines where there is a food service opportunity. Dito naman, walang limit yung mga foods na na-provide nila, pero kung ano lang yung kaya nila, depende sa nagluluto or sa may-ari, yun lang ang pwede mo ordering. Ano sir, parang you can order what you want, pero specifically sa kung ano lang ang na-provide ng kainan. Example na lang siguro is kung ano lang nasa menu, ayun lang pwede mong makain. Some innovations are drive-in restaurants, drive-in movie, home delivery service, cyber cafe, noodle bars, sushi bars, SMS or short message service. Drive-in restaurants are those where a motorist drives in and parks in specially designed parking lots. Mostly, makikita mo to sa mga fast food. Uso na kasi yung mga take-out na lang, especially sa mga travelers na di nakapag-ready ng food sila and sometimes sa mga long drives, may mga drive-in to avoid pila, ganito. Next, drive-in movie is where the above concept applies to view cinema on a giant screen. Ito yung malasinehan outdoor. As far as I know po, nagamit sila ng malaking projector sa malaking parking lot para siyang mini concert. Karamihan sa ibang bansa ito nangyayari. Sa Pilipinas po, minsanan lang. Tapos sa mga sa mga bazaar, mostly mo siya maano. Since drive-in nga siya, mas may privacy at free yung mga tao para manood. Kasi solo nila yung lugar which is inside their cars. Hindi ko lang po alam kung expensive siya. Depende po siguro dun sa movie na papanood nila or sa lugar po. Home delivery service. This has become commonplace and some establishments boast of delivery food to a client's location within a specified time. Delivery service naman is for the resto or shops na available ang home delivery. Bagay din to sa mga tamad umorder sa labas and accurate nowadays since it's pandemic nga, mas prefer nila ang deliver unlike going out to buy food. Pero since home service delivery nga siya, limited lang ang oras but it depends on the shop kung 24 hours ba. Pero today, may limit ang ganito. Next is cyber cafe, are a testimony of our times where food, juices, tea, and coffee are served to those renting computer time to check and send email. Ito naman, meron to sa mga computer shop, obvious naman sa name niya. Yung mga addict sa computeran dyan, tinitake advantage na rin ng mga seller tinitake advantage na rin ng mga seller to have business inside the com shop. Pero the food are limited. Hindi lahat pwedeng i-serve since isa tong computer, maraming gadgets and wirings ang pwedeng mag-interrupt dahil sa food. Kaya kung may ma-encounter ka man na ganito, normally, snack ang i-serve. Noodle bars are a relatively new concept where various preparations of noodles are served with Chinese delicacies in a variety of sauces. Ito naman, obviously sa name niya, mga noodles or possible din na may mga seafood, it depends sa owner ng bar or ng shop. Pero ayun nga, ang reserve nila sa'yo ay more on noodles, mga Japanese or Chinese food. Para to sa mga mahilig sa Chinese or Japanese resto, ganun po. Example dito, kung alam niyo yung Chinatown sa may Binondo, ayun, maraming noodle bars doon. Ang sarap kumain doon. Lalo at maraming dishes pagdating sa seafood and noodles. I suggest kumain kayo dito paggabi kasi masarap sa kainan. Like, ramdam mo yung kinakain mo, mararamdaman mo, nasa China. Next, sushi bars, where morsel-sized foods are sent along a circular conveyor belt. People are seated along the circular bar. Napaka-rare po neto sa Philippines. Kung meron man, sa mga luxurious hotel and resto lang natin siyang makita. Pero in whole definition, ito yung fast food style in Japan wherein yung mga customer ay pwedeng maglagay ng mga special na order. Tapos umiikot yung kinakain nila which is, ayun yung time na pwede silang mag-change dish. And syempre, ang main dish nila dito is sushi. Of course, all-in-one kasi yung sushi. Pag kinain mo, may ulam at kanin na siya. Tapos, fresh ang mga ingredients. Last one is SMS or short message service. Services to order foods are only a click away. Since pandemic, gamit na gamit ang SMS. Maraming may ganito not only sa mga city, meron na rin inside the subdivision, mas madali kasi ang process ng order through SMS kasi andun na lahat. I-click mo na lang, tapos makikipag-usap ka na lang sa seller. Pero feel ko po dun sa SMS, may bayad po yung pag-order niya. Same lang po sila dun sa home delivery service po. I will take over to me, Mabini, to discuss about health facilities.
Okay. Health facilities. Health facilities are obviously required for the care of travelers. Hotels have house doctors while tourist entries have care centers.
Sino nag-report kanina sa akin?
Centers have care centers. Okay na po.
Mahina pa nga yun.
Paki-off po ng mic.
Kapag nag-report.
Health facilities is very important, especially now there is a pandemic. So karamihan po ngayon sa mga tao, especially po yung mga OFW, bago po sila umuwi sa mga lugar, nagsistay muna po sila sa hotel for quarantine. So nakakatulong po ito para if ever na may nararamdaman po silang hindi maganda, yung guest po hindi nalalabas upang pumunta sa hospital para po malaman yung right treatment sa nararamdaman nila. Medical hospitals located in every major town and city. A medical clinic located on property or in close proximity of a hotel. It allows a domestic or international traveler with pre-existing medical conditions to have increased confidence and peace of mind when traveling. Sa mga nag-travel naman po galing sa biyahe, tapos balak po nila mag-stay sa hotel, nandiyan po yung health facilities ng hotel para mag-assist po kung mayroon po silang nararamdaman. Tulad po ng pagkahilo, syempre galing po sa biyahe. In health facilities of hotel po, it has the ability to quickly address patient concerns, problems, and make the right triage and treatment plan suggestions for a guest. So very familiar po tayo sa health facilities dahil meron po nito sa ating mga barangay. So yung tinatawag po na meron pong BHW na tinatawag or barangay health workers para mag-assist po sa health facilities ng ating barangay. Next po we have Next we have highway. Highways have two or more lanes. Highways design may vary widely and includes freeways with multiple lanes. So highways have two or more lanes in its intersections. They have double solid lines to separate high-speed traffic. So in British English po, highway is primarily a legal term. Everyday use normally implies roads. Everywhere, anywhere po, mayroon po tinatawag na highway kung kaya't practical na po ito at alam na ng nakararami. This is where the usually way of cars and you can see it if you are traveling dahil ito po yung way para makarating po sa iyong destination. Malawak po yung tinatawag na highway and it has so many ways. Mapapansin din yung median strip o central reservation sa gitnang parte ng highway kung saan nagsisilbi itong pagitan upang maging dalawa po yung daan at hindi magdulot ng traffic. We have two ways kung saan kabilaan ito at hindi nagsasalubong yung mga sasakyan. On my research, the US and China have the largest highway network in the world. So yung sa US po, ang tawag po sa largest highway po nila is yung I-90 or Interstate 90. Sa China naman po, yung Lianyuan Corgos Expressway. Then sa example naman po natin dito sa Philippines, yung pinakamahabang highway daw po is yung tinatawag na Daang Maharlika or Pan-Philippine Highway. Next po. Next is left luggage facilities. Our left luggage facilities are found at airports, surface transport terminal, and hotels to enable guests to travel up country without to hold their heavy baggage. Okay. Left luggage referred to luggage that people lived in railway, airport, and hotel in which they collect later. Left luggage facilities are designated area in hotel, airports, and terminal where heavy luggage or bags of passengers and guests are left. Especially po kung yung mga guests ay may mga gala or what, they don't have to bring their heavy luggage with them. They can simply just bring a small bag and leave their baggage at left luggage facility. Sa mga hotel, of course, may mga ganyan. Simply give your baggage where the assigned person in the left luggage facilities and wala ka nang babayaran dahil nandun na po yun sa tinatawag na package. Makikita rin dito sa mga airports, lalo na pagpasok mo pa lang. Kukunin na po nila yung mga baggage kung saan sila na po yung mag-a-assist doon and dadalhin ka na lang po nila dun sa pwesto mo. So yung mga traveler po, yun nga po, maaari na po nilang iwan yung mga mabibigat nilang gamit upang maging magaan po yung kanilang pag-travel, which is dun po sa left luggage. Next po. Also, travelers can transfer basic essentials into handbags for light travel, leaving their heavier baggage at these left luggage facilities at a nominal fee. Yes, of course, most left luggage facilities have charges or fee. From minimum to maximum, depende po sa size or sa bigat po ng mga baggage nyo. Yun po. So, proceed to Mr. Robles with his topic.
Thank you. Let's proceed to museums. A great attraction to all travelers, especially for their exhibits of rare collection and their value. And alam na naman natin lahat na itong museum, a building that stored objects like historical, artistic, and cultural interests. Museum, dito na po tayo papasok sa tourism industry na attraction. Part po na ng recreation na natalakay last chapter and chapter 1. Balik po tayo sa museum, educational tourist attraction na hinahanap ng mga pinupuntahan ng mga turista. Like, pwede po yung mga groups, like mga magtotropa, family, for educational purpose po naman. And also for history. This cultural heritage is also defined as a tourism market and industry. In England and France have set the lead in museums of extraordinary quality, and this is the examples of the most famous museums. Next. Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. Dito po sa Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, meron po silang 21 museums worldwide. 6 po sa USA, and meron din po sa Bangkok, Berlin, Beijing, Tokyo, Australia, Sydney, and more. Next is Louvre Museum. Louvre Museum in Paris, France. Po? Louvre Museum in Paris, France. The most visited and famous. And I think in my research po, number one po siya sa largest museum in the world. And is in the central landmark of the city. Next is Salarjung Museum in Hyderabad, India. And this is the one of the most largest apart from Louvre Museum, and included the Louvre Museum. Salarjung. Okay. Next na po pala. Thank you. Next, infrastructure, the power generation. is a vital to feed electric and electronic machines that have become part of our everyday life. Power generation or electricity generation, ito po yung ginagamit para mag-produce or mag-create ng electricity at sa bahay, sa streets or barangay and other infrastructure. And kaya po nasabi na naging part na po ng ating pang-araw-araw na buhay dahil sa generation po ngayon na puro gadgets and appliances and basic examples na lang po ng mga cellphone, computer or laptop na ginagamitan po ng electricity for online class and mga games and online games. And this is the major sources of the energy. Next, fossil fuel included the natural gas, oil and petroleum, woods, coal and this is the other sources excluded sa fossil fuel. Next po. Nuclear energy. A nuclear energy is a power that uses nuclear reaction to produce electricity. And hydroelectric energy producing energy using motion of water such as waterfall and other water forms. Biomass energy, a energy generated or produced by living organisms such as plant and animals. And geothermal energy is include in renewable sources to process and generate with natural process like heat and wind, water and the other various of the renewable. Geothermal po. Heat po. With natural process with heat. Yes po. Hindi ko po sure sir, pero ito po yung mga yung para pong planta ng malapit sa waterfalls po, ganun. Mga waterfalls, dam, ganun.
Waterfalls and Miss
Dam po.
Montaes. Okay. Dam. Okay. So, yung hydroelectric energy, yung mga nasa dam. Okay? Yung tipong ayan, sa Angat Dam, yan, may mga, although maliliit lang yung mga natin, yung mga hydroelectric energy compared with the other hydroelectric energy sa ibang bansa like China, in US. Yan. How about geothermal energy? Saan ito nanggagaling, Mr. Robles?
Sa lang po, renewable energy lang po, like heat po.
Heat
Nanggagaling dito lang po sa
from-
sa Earth.
sa Earth. So, usually po yung geothermal, yung malalapit sa mga bulkan. Yan. So, yung yung heat na nanggagaling sa mga volcano na yan, ginagamit natin yan to produce electricity. Okay? And then example ng renewable energy. Another example are
Water po and wind.
water, yun nga sa hydro sa mga dam, wind, yung sa mga what do you call that? Yung mga wind turbine natin.
Opo.
And what else?
Ocean, sir.
So solar po.
Solar.
Ocean po.
Yan, very popular yung solar. Okay? 'Di ba ngayon nga may mga posts, yung mga light post na or street post na ginagamitan ng solar energy, 'di ba? Okay? Any question and additional information po? Wala? Okay, let's proceed.
Okay. Next po, public works. Those construction that improve the infrastructure to boost the economy of the state. Ito po yung mga projects po na pinupondohan ng ating gobyerno para sa ekonomiya, such as, next po, railroads, and road and tunnels. And also the recreational facilities like parks, gyms, public educational facilities, healthcare institutions, and health and safety uses.
Yeah, so mostly yung mga public works natin, sila yung mga sige, anong department natin, sangay ng gobyerno ang nag-aasikaso ng mga public works natin? Anyone from the reporters?
Po. Ay,
What department?
Public Works and Highway po.
Or kilala natin sila sa acronym na DPWH. Ayan, DPWH. Okay? So sila po yung mostly nagko-construct ng mga bridges, public highways, yan. Okay? Yan, mga tunnels, sila din yan. So instead of cutting or taking off a big chunk of a mountain, gumagawa na lang tayo ng tunnels. Okay? Okay, next.
next po, I will take over to Miss Salimbaw.
Thank you. The 19 tourism infrastructure is natural resources. A country is lucky blessed with the natural resources. They attract tourists in numbers, and many countries on capitalize on this. We all know that natural resources is yamang kalikasan in Tagalog. Sabi dyan, country is blessed with the natural resources. We all know that all countries have natural resources that blessed with our God. Next. This location must have supporting infrastructure and facilities to make tourism impossible. We all know that natural resources are dead without infrastructure support. We all know that when we visit a tourist destination, we need to have a infrastructure support to make the tourism impossible daw, sir. And
impossible or possible?
Ay possible po pala. Possible yung tourism destination na pupunta natin. Like such as, sir, kailangan po meron yung tourism, yung tourist destination natin is kailangan po meron silang mga masasakyan na pwede pong ma-offer sa mga tourist person na pwedeng pupunta po sa isang lugar, sir. Halimbawa po yung sa may Boracay po, sir. Kapag pumunta po tayo dun, sir, kailangan po yung lugar na pupunta natin is meron silang ma-offer sa atin na sasakyan papunta sa Boracay and Boracay to airport po, sir. May ganun pong mga lugar na ay hotels na pwede natin ma-check-inan na nag-o-offer sila ng rides para makapunta tayo sa other destination na pupuntahan natin sa lugar na yon.
Okay.
And wait lang. And there must be access to these facilities such as roads, airports, or rail connection. Then there must be accommodation to the house visitors with a necessary food and beverages service. Pag tayo po ay pumunta sa isang tourist destination na pupunta natin is kailangan po meron pong masiserve yung lugar na pupunta natin ng mga necessities po like food, beverages, or mga drinks po. And this facility should be ideally supported by tour guides and local taxi souvenir shop. Sir, kapag kailangan po pumunta po tayo sa isang tourist destination, kailangan po meron nga po sila mga infrastructure like mga souvenir shop, coffee shop, and mga restaurant na pwedeng makainan or mapaggalaan ng mga tourist person po, sir. And kailangan kapag pumunta po tayo sa isang lugar, meron pong magtutour sa atin or magpapaliwanag kung anong meron sa tourist destination na pinuntahan po natin. Next po, may be classified first is climate po. Kailangan po pag pumunta po tayo sa isang destination, kailangan po i-check po natin kung anong climate or lagay ng weather sa lugar na pupuntahan po natin. Isa pong halimbawa na pwedeng mapunta sa climate is kapag pumunta po tayo sa ibang bansa like sa Switzerland po and Austria po, meron pong mga mountains po doon na pwede po nating mapuntahan na tourist destination po like yung Mount ano po ba yun?
Ano yan?
Yung Rocky Mountains po, yung St. Moritz or Calgary are good example of this aspect of tourism po, sir. Pwede po tayo dyan yung ski, yung magpaparap po tayo mag-i-slide, sir, yung parang may pedal po sa dalawang paa natin, tapos may tungkod po tayo hawak. Isa po yun sa mga pwede natin gawin kapag pumunta po tayo sa isang lugar or mountains na pwede nating maging tourist destination. Next is yung sa may Bountiful, yung isa din po sa pwede natin mapuntahan na tourist destination pag climate po is yung mga beaches po, sir. Yung isa pong halimbawa dyan ng mga beach na lugar is yung Caribbean, Spain, tsaka po Florida. Kasi po sila po yung mga countries na meron pong magagandang beach na pwede po talaga nating ma-enjoy. Next is potable water. Potable water po. Yung basic pagkakasasyon yung potable water po yung mga natural water po na nanggagaling sa mga mountains po na pwede pong mainom nating mga tourist po. Halimbawa po, kunyari, pag pumunta po tayo sa ibang bansa is pwede po tayong uminom ng water galing po sa faucet nila or sa gripo. Sabi po dito is sa base dun po sa may binigay niyo po potable water is a great gift to a nation tourism. People in the US and Canada consume water anywhere without getting infected. Ito po yung sabi ko, ito yung malinis na tubig na nanggagaling sa natural resources natin na pwede nating mainom galing lang po sa faucet lalo na po pag tayo po ay pumunta sa ibang bansa. Pwede po tayong uminom ng water galing lang sa faucet nila na hindi po tayo makakuha ng anumang sakit, sir. Tapos meron daw pong lugar na hindi supported yung natural resources nila sa pagdating po sa tubig. Yung Middle East po is have a major problem as they do not have natural drinking water. Ano po yung Middle East? Ito po yung lugar na hindi po pwedeng uminom galing sa may faucet nila. Galing po sa faucet nila. Isa pong lugar yung Middle East na hindi po supported yung natural resources nila or wala po silang malinis na water galing sa faucet po nila. Next is flora and fauna. Flora is a plant life occurring in a particular region of time. Generally, they're naturally occurring or indigenous. Native plant life are a treatise on our list of the plant of area period. Yung flora po, isa po siyang halaman. Ang mga example ko po dyan na halaman is yung matatagpuan po dito sa Pilipinas is yung Papio pedilum faule po. Yung siya po ay makikita sa Palawan, Philippines po. It's a native to a beautiful island, Palawan, Philippines, last frontier. This species, which is threatened by loss of a habitat, inhabits tropical and subtropical forest. Isa po sa example ko din po sa may flora is yung peltate nepenthes po. It is a strange-looking plant. It is not a colorful toilet bowl. Ito po yung parang siyang halaman na parang hugis. Yung bowl po, yung may kumpleto po. Yung pwede nating maihian tsaka po madumihan is ganun po yung itsura niya. Wala po akong picture na nalagay kasi po sinerch ko lang po yung example ko. Ang sabi po, this strange-looking plant is not a colorful toilet bowl. It is a scientifically called Nepenthes peltata, a tropical pitcher plant that can be found only from the upper slope of Mount Hamigitan in Mindanao, southern Philippines po. Ito pong halaman na to is pwede po natin siyang makita dito sa may Mindanao po, sa may Mount Hamigitan po. Next is yung fauna. Fauna are defined as the animal's characteristic of a particular time, period, or a particular location. It refers to the animals. Yung naman po, we all know that fauna is, ito po yung ay fauna po. Fauna is yung animals po to na pwede nating makita. Isa pong halimbawa dyan is yung Philippine eagle. One of the world's largest eagle, also known as the monkey-eating eagle. The endangered Philippine eagle is one of the largest in the world. Yung Philippine eagle po is matatagpuan po natin to dito sa Pilipinas. Isa po to sa mga tourist na pwedeng mabisita ng mga turista po. Like, pwede makita nila to sa mga zoo po. Next, po yung Philippine eagle po is scientific name, Pithecopaga. The Philippine eagle lives in the rainforest of Isabela, Samar Leyte, and Mindanao. Ito daw po yung Philippine eagle is makikita natin sa Isabela po sa Samar Leyte. Next is po yung world largest clam. Ito po yung parang shell po siya na malaki na nabubuhay po sa ilalim ng dagat. Sabi po, yung world largest clam daw po, it is considered to be the largest clam in the world and inside of the largest pearl named the Pearl of Lao Tzu. What is interesting is not the shell but the pearl. It weighs 14 pounds and measures 9.5 inches long and 5.5 inches in diameter. Ito daw po yung world largest clam po na pwede natin dito matagpuan lang sa Pilipinas po. Ito po ay nabubuhay na ng 600 years age po. Next is scenery. Scenery ba yun? Scenery. Scenery po is sige po sir. Wait lang. Scenery is another natural resources that that a country capitalizes on. Many countries are blessed with a unique geological formation, ideal for promoting drive-throughs and treks. Sa example ko, ito po yung mga scenario po, ito po yung mga pwede pong mga rock formation po siya or yung mga, halimbawa po yung raised terraces po. Isa po siya sa example ng beautiful scenario dito sa Pilipinas po. Sabi, rice paddies are a lot of them in the Philippines and they are not ordinary. Ifugao province represent you the Banawe rice terraces that everyone's keep buzzing about. Ito po yung isa nga po dun sa halimbawa sa beautiful scenario na matatagpuan dito sa Pilipinas is yung Banawe rice terraces po. And isa po pwede po mag-example ng beautiful scenery is yung Chocolate Hills po. Sabi dyan, Chocolate Hills in Bol, its majestic view continue to draw attention across the world. There are more than 10,000 symmetrical mounds that most people like them to Hershey Kisses. Kaya po, isa din po, tinatawag din po ang Chocolate Hills na Hershey Kisses kasi po, yung parang, yung moon niya po, yung parang pagkain niya po, hugis kisses po kasi siya tapos chocolate po siya. Next is yung minerals po. I will pass it to Syra Tul po.
Thank you po. So for minerals minerals are substances that are formed naturally in the earth. Minerals are usually solid, inorganic, have a crystal structure, and form naturally by geological processes. So, ang minerals po ay natural or likas na bagay na nabubuo sa ating mundo at hindi siya gawa ng isang tao. At ang mga uri po may iba't ibang uri or maraming uri ang minerals, pero I will give some example of minerals katulad ng silicates, oxide, at sulfates. Makikita po natin yan hindi sa loob ng katawan natin, pero meron din tayong mineral sa loob ng katawan natin tulad ng sodium, calcium, potassium, at ito ay nakakatulong para sa ating katawan, especially sa buto, yung calcium. So, sabi sa ating libro, ang minerals ay isang source na nakakatulong para ma-attract ang mga business travel and health traveler na pumunta sa isang lugar. Mineral spring is something claimed to have therapeutic value. So, bakit siya nakaka-attract sa mga health traveler? Kasi ang mineral ay nakakapagbigay ng isang magandang bagay sa ating katawan, kagaya ng sa mineral springs or hot springs. Nakakatulong siya para sa ating kalusugan. But also, ang minerals, meron din siyang hindi magandang effect sa ating katawan, lalo na pag sumosobra, katulad ng arsenic. So, isang examples or mga examples ng mineral springs na matatagpuan sa ating bansa is the Tangob Hot Spring in Camiguin, Malumpati Cold Spring in Antique, Hidden Valley Spring in Laguna, and Asin Hot Spring in Benguet. So, maganda po yung hot spring dahil sa minerals sa taglay nito at nakakatulong siya sa circulation ng ating dugo. So, according sa mining industry in the Philippines, ang Pilipinas ay naging pang-5 sa may pinakamayamang mineral sa buong mundo, mayaman sa gold, nickel, copper, and chromite. At ayon sa pag-aaral, mahigit 30 milyong hectares ng lupa sa Pilipinas ang maaari or posibleng makapagbigay ng metallic minerals. So, ano-ano yung mga minerals na maaari nating makita sa Pilipinas? Tulad ng copper, timber, nickel, petroleum, silver, gold, cobalt, and salt. Yun po yung mga halimbawa ng minerals na maaari nating makita sa Pilipinas. Next po is river, lakes, and waterfalls. So, isa rin siyang natural resource at nakakapagbigay siya ng isang magandang pagkakataon sa isang bansa para mapausbong ang tourism kung meron kayong river, lakes, and waterfalls. So, Lake Erie in Canada, Nile River in Egypt, Niagara Falls ay mga examples ng natural resources na naging tourism wonderlands or tourist spots. So sa Pilipinas, meron po tayong 412 principal river basins in 119 proclaimed watershed. Sa 412 na principal basin, 19 are considered major basins. At sa Pilipinas, matatagpuan natin ng pinakamalaking river sa Cagayan River or tinatawag na Rio Grande de Cagayan. Siya yung pinakamalaking river sa ating bansa at binabaybay niya ang Cagayan, Isabela, Nueva Ecija, Nueva Vizcaya, Quirino. Yan. Ito ay located sa Cagayan Valley na may habang 505 km or 314 miles. At meron din tayong 100 recorded lakes sa Pilipinas. At sa Southern Tagalog region, matatagpuan ng 22 lakes. At sa Cordillera naman matatagpuan ng 21. May matatagpuan tayong 21 lakes. So siya yung pumapangalawa sa may pinakamaraming river sa buong bansa. Sa bansa. And sa Southern Tagalog, the province of Laguna ang may pinakamaraming number of lakes, which is 12 lakes. At marami din tayong waterfalls in the Philippines, pero karamihan sa mga waterfalls ay hindi pa napapangalanan o hindi pa papakilala sa maraming tao sapagkat hindi pa siya ganun kasikat. So I will give some list ng mga waterfalls na maaari nating matagpuan sa Pilipinas. Sa Lanao del Norte, meron tayong 3 waterfalls na maaaring makita. Inago Falls, Maria Cristina Falls, Limunsudan Falls, at meron din tayong makikita sa Cotabato, Asiksik Falls, at marami pa sa iba't ibang parte ng Pilipinas. So, kung ang natural resources ay nakakatulong para ma-promote ang ating tourism, meron ding mga bansa na hindi ganun karami yung natural resources nila. At sa mga bansa na hindi ganun karami ang natural resources, gumagawa sila ng ibang paraan para ma-attract ang tourist at para ma-promote yung kanilang bansa katulad ng recreational activities or festivals, cultural events, sports, and shopping. So, examples po ng mga bansa na may hindi ganun karaming natural resources is Vatican City, Costa Rica, and Hong Kong. Sa Vatican City, ginamit nilang, dahil alam natin na religious country ang Vatican City, ginamit nila yung mga historic walking areas or religious sites to attract the tourists. Sa Costa Rica naman, gumagamit sila ng sports tulad ng soccer games at bullfights para ma-attract ang tourists. Sabay Hong Kong naman po, nandun po yung sikat na Disneyland and meron din silang Big Buddha na may laking 34 meters height. So yun lamang po and I will pass to the next reporter. Thank you.
Telecommunication, the transmission of signal over a distance for the purpose of communication. In modern times po, this process almost always involves the sending of electromagnetic waves by electronic transmitter po. But in early years, it may have involved the use of smoke, signals, jams, and etc. In hospitality industry po, telecommunication play a very important role. Tulad po ngayon, we are in the middle of pandemic po. Madami pong nag-iingat na mga tourists and customers. That's why kailangan po natin i-improve yung communication po natin sa mga customers po. Kaya meron po tayong mga hotel technology which is essential po for facilitating communication. Madali pong magkakaroon ng access yung isang tourist po or yung guest natin for the reservation details via text message po or by an app which is easier and to save time po. Telecommunication so valuable po. This because binibigay po nito yung mga basic needs po natin which is our vital for society and also for our economic booster to encourage education and last po is to transform the business world po sa pamamagitan ng advanced communication po. Next po. Telecommunication includes several device process. Television. A telecommunication medium used for transmitting images. Nakakatulong po ito sa pamamagitan po ng pag-hatid po ng mga balita sa loob at labas po ng bansa. Next, radio. Sound communication through radio waves, usually po through the transmission of music po, mga balita at mga programa po from single broadcast station po to the individual listener. Next, telephone. News transmission and reception of the human voice. Ginagamit po natin ito para matawagan yung mga importanteng tao po at syempre for the business opportunity to integrate real-time two-way communication po with customers. Computer communication across the internet such as email and instant messaging are example of telecommunication. So, enables the travelers to be in touch with his or her home base. Ngayon po kasi networking has become an essential aspect of our job na po. So, para po sa mga opportunities and to our advanced career po, we need to develop relationship and connection within our network po. Next is tour guide are qualified professional who lead tourists around the town, museum, or other tourists po. Tour guide po, they are the person who take people or tourists on a trip through an area and explain the interesting details about the place po. They are essential to translate the local culture to a visitors. Like halimbawa po, isa po akong tour guide, tapos may dayuhan pong turista na gustong mamasyal or mag-sightseeing po sa isang lugar na hindi po familiar o bago lang po sa kanya. Siyempre po bilang tour guide niya po sa lugar na yun po, i-guide ko po siya tapos bibigyan ko po siya ng mga interesting details po about sa lugar para po mas lalo siyang ma-excite po. Next is you have to be knowledgeable with authentic information po. Kasi po, it coordinate with various agencies like eateries, entrance fees, and etc. To make at least become smooth po. This become more critical po talaga when group of tourists travel to a location. Lalo na po kapag galing sa ibang bansa yung tourists po. That's why tour guides should be proficient in the language understood by the tourists. Hence, their being linguists po, it helps them to be effective po. Kaya most of tourism department po organize tour guide programmers and certify them. Next is tour offices are another component of the tourism infrastructure. They are established by the tourism department of a state in source market to enable tourists get better information about travel to the country. Tourist office po, it supplies information to people who are visiting of an area or hotel company for pleasure or interest po. Like example po, kailangan po nilang mag-survey or makita po yung hotel or sightseeing, mga ganun po. Gusto din po nila ng accommodation. That's why po, tourist office are responsible for promoting and sometimes po, nag-advertise po sila to promote the particular demand. And last po, here is Marco Antoinette to discuss the transportation and water resources.
Thank you, Ms. Abriertas. Transportation. This sector is vital to move travelers around the world. It is a broad term which includes roads, railways, airways, and waterways. Next po. Terminals, we have airports, railway station, bus terminals, ferry crossing, and seaports. And in vehicles, we have aircrafts, buses, trains, ships, and ferries. Next po. We have the components of transportation. But before that, may tanong po ako sa inyo classmate kung sino na sa inyo yung nakapunta na ng ibang bansa or nakatravel na po. If meron man po, I think ito yung mga sinakyan nyo. First is the international airlines. International airlines that brings people into a country. Each country has its own national carrier and different airlines. Ano po ang mga iyon, mga different airline ng bawat international airlines? First, we have the Cathay Pacific, Qatar Airlines, British Airlines, Emirates, Qantas Airways, Singapore Airlines, Turkish Airlines, Air New Zealand, and Japan Airlines. Si Cathay Pacific po is originated siya sa Hong Kong. Pwede rin po siyang pumunta ng Philippines at ng iba pang bansa. At alam niyo po ba na ang Philippine Airline is pwede na rin siyang tawagin international airline. Bakit po? Kasi pwede na rin siyang pumunta ng ibang bansa. Next is the domestic airlines. Domestic airlines connect principal cities of a country and even up-country location through feeder service. Si domestic airline naman po, ito yung local airline within the country lang po. Meaning, sa loob lang po ng bansa. For example po, sa Pilipinas, we have the Cebu Pacific, Philippine Airline, Sebco, Air Swift, Sky Pasada, Skyjet Airline Philippines. Yun po yung mga ng domestic airlines. Next is the train service. Train service that travels across the country. Places like the USA, Canada, Russia, India, and China have some of largest rail network making every remote corner accessible. Si train service naman po, meron halimbawa po nito yung LRT at MRT. LRT stands for Light Rail Transit, while MRT stands for Metro Rail Transit or Mass Rapid Transit. In the Philippines, the only difference between the two modes of transportation are the routes of the company that runs them. And LRT is smaller in length and slower than the MRT. So mas maliit si LRT kaysa kay MRT. Next is the intercity bus. Intercity bus service are also efficient and comfortable for the budget-conscious tourist. Si intercity bus naman po, ito yung mga bus na from Manila going to Bicol. Kumbaga po, ito yung may mga mahabang biyahe or mamahalin na bus na bumabiyahe especially for the VIP po. Next is the coach service. Coach service to transport their guests and to transport their guests to from the airport are also for the purpose of sightseeing. Si coach service naman po, ito yung exclusive lang sa isang grupo po. Yes po. Yes po. Next is the car rental. Car rental service has sprung up all over the world with cars and latest models available on rent. Ito naman pong car rental, ito yung kotse na inaarkilahan ng isang taong hindi alam ang isang lugar o hindi kamay ang isang lugar. Next is the sea travel. Sea travel, through it has been made is popular by the quicker air travel. Si sea travel naman po, ito yung mga pangdagat na sasakyan like barko, bangka, yung we have the cargo ships, ro-ro ships, bulk carriers. Next is the cable cars and funiculars. Cable cars and funiculars are popular medium of transportation among leisure enthusiasts, while cable cars travel along overhead cables. Funiculars travel on ground pulled by cables on the surface of steep hill slope. Ito pong si cable cars, tapos si funiculars, meron po nito sa Tagaytay Highlands, na pagmamay-ari ng mga SYSM Group. Next is the public transportation. Public transportation or mass transit.
If I may ask Miss Morco, what is the difference between cable cars and funiculars?
Cable cars po, parang nakabitin po siya nakabitin po siya na puro glasses yung ano niya, tapos makikita mo yung tanawid sa baba. While si funicular naman po, siya yung parang trend po siya na maliit na bumababa at tumataas at parang
Okay, so usually funiculars po is like a train na short distance lang. Okay, and usually sila ay paakyat, hindi not like the MRT or LRT or train stations na horizontal ang kanyang pag-andar. Ang funiculars po is parang slightly going up and going down. Ganun po yung difference niya. Okay?
Yes po. Next is the public transportation or mass transit is essential to tourism infrastructure. They are transport system in which the passenger do not travel in their own vehicles. They includes rapid rails, buses, airlines, ferries, metros, subways, tram cars, and taxi service. Such transportation is valuable to a traveler to move within a city or a region. Si public transportation naman po, ito yung mga sinasakyan natin na motor, tricycle, bus, taxi. Next po. Travel agency. Travel agency, an important aspect of any tourism activity, is the role of tour operator and travel agents who put travel together. So, si travel agency po, siya yung mga tinatawagan ng customer para magpabook ng ticket. Sila din po yung agency or grupo na mag-aasikaso ng booking mo kung saan mo man gustong pumunta. Pwede rin po silang mag-suggest na pwedeng puntahan sa isang lugar. Next po. Next is the tour operators. Tour operators is the one who complies the various aspects of a holiday, including air travel, surface transportation, hotel accommodation, etc. Sa tour operator naman po, kunwari po ako, pupunta ako ng Korea, siya po yung mag-aasikaso ng sasakyan ko, ng hotel ko, ng pagkain ko at iba pa. Next po. Tour operator. Opo. Yes po. Next is the travel agents. They are active in making local tour programs themselves and also arrange for booking on behalf of the customer at hotels, airlines, and surface transport. Yun nga po, kanina, parang pareho din po siya ni tour operator. Kasi po parang iisa din po ang posisyon nila. Yes po. Yes po. Next. Next po. Therefore, the important aspect of travel agency business is to be as close to the public as possible. Yun nga po. Next. Next po. Next na. Oo. Water resources are source of water that are useful to human. Unfortunately, water is scarce and will be a precious commodity in future. The inset alongside shows the project water scarcity worldwide by 2025. Water is used for agriculture, industry, lodgings, recreation, and environments. It is a vital element for survival. Humans require fresh water. Unfortunately, 2.5% of water on the earth is fresh water. Yun na nga po yung nasa falls, yung nasa lakes, yun po yung tinatawag na fresh water. And over 2/3 is frozen in glacier and polar ice cap. Ito na po yung mga nasa ibang bansa. 3% po siya. Water demands exceeds supplies in many parts of the world. It becomes a great challenge for many states. The challenge becomes even greater when it comes to attract tourists who are used to better quality of water. And of water, the desert kingdom of Gulf have to improve all their drinking water to meet their requirements, to offer it cheap, to sustain tourism, and for the survival of their own subjects. Water is also carrier of waterborne disease. Unless a country can assure its tourists of a supply of a good quality water and tourism in the country born to suffer. Yun na nga po. Di ba po may 10% po tayong water sa earth. Yung 75% po is yung nasa dagat. Tapos yung 3% naman po is yung nasa glacier. Yung nasa ibang bansa po na yellow ice.
Glaciers po yan.
Glaciers. Tapos yung 2.5% is nasa lake, yung mga nasa falls, yung nasa ibabaw ng earth po. Yun po. Yun na nga po, sinabi ko na po yun. Unfortunately, requires fresh water. Only 2.5 of water on the earth is fresh water. Over 2/3 is frozen glaciers and polar ice caps. The end. That's all.
That's all? All right. Any additional information from the reporters? No more?
None po.
None. All right. Sir, di pa po namin narinig. Hindi ka po namin narinig. Hindi ako naririnig. Sorry. Ayan. Okay. So, that's the end of the report of the group 3. And any question from the students on the live stream? Question, clarification, additional information? Wala naman siguro. Alright, very good. Group 3. Mukhang pinaghandaan nyo ang report ninyo. At you did well. Very good. Well done. Yan, palampakan naman natin yung Sir, naka-5 practice po kami. Talaga ba?
Sa totoo lang, sir.
Legit, sir.
Legit?
Naka-5 gimmick po kami.
Wow! Well, it appears that you
Na-postpone kasi nung nakaraan, sir, kaya puro practice.
kaya naging maganda naman yung naging outcome ng report ninyo. So far, kahit mag-request siguro kayo ng pinakamataas na grade na pwede, I am very much willing to give it to you. So congratulations and very good to each and every one of the group 3. Palakpakan naman natin sila. Congratulations. Yes, please give yourself a very loud and warm of applause to yourself. Tap your back. Very good. All right, so anything else na gusto nyong klaro or concern? I think nag-post ako ng activity sa ating classroom, tama ba? Na ay gusto ko lang din i-discuss before tayo mag-end ng meeting natin. Pasensya na kung medyo naging tayo nag-extend tayo ng oras. Binigyan ko naman kayo ng extension sa oras ninyo sa exam kaya bawi-bawi lang din Pasensya na. Okay. So before we end this meeting, i-discuss ko lang din kung or baka may mga question kayo dun sa tourism activities na binigay ko sa inyo or inassign ko sa inyo. Meron ba kayong question? O di ba wala pa nagpapasa? Okay.
Di ba sir nakalagay doon na i-explain mo sa amin ngayon?
Kaya nga baka may mga question kayo or or anything na gusto niyo sabihin. Okay, sige, bibigay ko muna yung yung instruction Okay. Give examples of each tourism activities, one locally. So ibig sabihin, example ng tourism activity, for example, amusement park na example nyo sa Philippines. So that's one image. Okay? Sa isang bond paper or sa isang page sa Word, pagsamahin nyo na lagay nyo, for example, amusement park, Philippines, o lagay nyo example, picture, one siguro kahit mga 4x4 inches na picture pwede, as long as malinaw yung image, okay lang yon. And then pangalan, for example, Sky Ranch, then dash kung saan siyang city and province, for example, okay, amusement park, tapos Philippines, picture, sa ilalim nun, ilagay pangalan ng establishment na yon or tourism activity, Sky Ranch dash Tagaytay, Cavite. Okay? And then, sa ibaba nun, lagay international. Example is Hong Kong Disneyland. Then, kahit yung country na lang. Alright? For example, Hong Kong. Hong Kong Disneyland in Hong Kong. O kaya Osaka Disneyland Osaka in Japan or Japan. Okay? And then compile po yun sa isang document ng MS Word. Okay? And then I suggest i-convert nyo na yung MS Word nyo into PDF. Lahat po ng tourism activities from A to Z, from amusement park to zoo. Okay? Lahat po yun. Ngayon, in the event na walang example, like for example yung skiing, di ba? Wala naman tayong skiing dito. So ilagay na lang po NA, not applicable or not available. All right? If not available sa Philippines yung tourism activity, ilagay na lang po not available or NA. N/. Okay? May limit po ng page, sir, or kahit ilan pong gamitin. Kahit ilang gamitin. Basta, one tourism activity, one page. Okay? Para makita natin yung ma-compare natin. Okay? And also, maglagay po ng short description of that tourism activity. Wait lang, baka may question sa Sir, with explanation po ba? Yes. May explanation po. Lagyan po ng short description. Short lang 1 to 2 to 3 sentences para lang magkasya po sa isang bond paper yung isang tourism activity. Okay? Or pick lang po. Sir, lahat po ba yun i-explain or kukuha lang ng isa, then yun lang yung bibigay ng example? What do you mean, Mr. Fornea? Lahat po ng tourism activity, bibigyan nyo po ng example. I think it's 23, if I'm not mistaken. 21 to 23. Ganun siya. Question po. Clarification. Ang gawin nyo guys, di ba ilalagay nyo sa MS Word. Now, i-convert nyo yung MS Word nyo into PDF. Okay? Para po, pag sinubmit nyo yung sinubmit nyo yung file, hindi mag-rumble or mag-iba yung format. Kasi sometimes, iniiba ni Google Classroom yung format nung nung pinasa nyo. So, if naka-PDF na siya, so kung ano yung nakalagay sa MS Word nyo, ganun din yung nakalagay sa PDF nyo. Okay? Naintindihan po? Alright. Any other question? Ano yung question dito sa Gmeet natin? Sir, ano po ulit comply? Ano daw? Mr. Robles, ano po yan? Yung A to Z po. Lahat po nung example ng tourism activity. From A, amusement park, aquaria, and so on and so forth. And then hanggang zoo. Z. Letter Z. Get? Salamat po. Sir, sa G-class po yon ipapasa. Yes po. Send na ako ng notification sa inyo noong October 10. Ayan. At ang due date po niya is on October 21. Pwede po kahit may kapareho. As much as possible, the unique of your work, mas maganda, much better. Kasi titingnan ko po yan, check ko po yan lahat. So, 1 to 100 points or 75 to 100 points po ang makukuha nyong grade sa output ninyo together. Kasama po yan sa magiging grade nyo sa outputs po. Ha? Okay? Guys, October 21, 11:59 ang deadline po. Not unique description, but unique example. For example, alam nyo naman na common na yung ganyang example. For example, sa amusement park, maghanap kayo sa sa Russia ng amusement park. Maghanap kayo sa ibang bansa na sa yung tipong mga much better if ganun. Okay? Ano po? Ano pa po? Noted po. Okay. Tagilang example po bawat letter. Alam, anong bawat letter? Hindi po yun bawat letter ha. Per tourism activity po yun ha. Na diniscuss nung group 2 sa chapter 3. One example here in the Philippines, for example, amusement park. One in the Philippines and one sa ibang bansa. Okay? Picture, name, location, and then short description. Yan, nagagalit na si Romney ko. Dalawa nga po, isang local, isang international. Okay, ano pa? Guys, make sure na ipapasa nyo yung work nyo on or before October 21, 11:59 p.m. If your work tagged as late, highest grade na ibibigay ko po doon sa mga late ay 80 points. Okay? Kahit gaano ka-unique yung work ninyo, kung late naman po yon, automatic 80 points. Alright? But, if your work is not late, on time, and unique, highest will be ranging from 90 to 100. Okay? Auto 100 chart. Sabi nila. Again, i-check ko po yan. Okay? If sinunod nyo yung format na sinabi ko, okay? Madali kong ilagay ng 100 yan. Okay? At saka yung ganda ng presentation ng inyong activity. Okay? Any other clarification?
None po.
None? Sigurado? Wala na? Okay. So, guys, hindi na ako siguro hindi na ako magsisend ng link na lang. Guys, pahit na lang ng like button sa ating live, and then screenshot po, palagay na lang po ng present, and then screenshot, make sure na kita yung name nyo sa comment box when you screenshot, ha. Palambing lang ako, palike lang ako ng ating live, and then pa-comment po ng present sa ating chat, and then take a screenshot. Okay? So if you don't have any question, thank you very much for attending our class. Again, congratulations, and massive congratulations to Group 3, headed by Miss Nuevares. Okay. So again, thank you very much, Miss Nuevares. Please stay, and all the rest of your members can leave the meeting room now.
Okay po.
Okay?
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations. Very good po.
Thank you po,
Well
sir.
done. Thank you.
Sir, di na po kami magsisend ng screenshot ng
Hindi na po.
email. Sige po. Thank
No
you po.
problem. Okay,
Thank you po, sir.